I thought, I'm not afraid to die. But when I almost died, man, I was afraid. I begged for my life. I cried.
The loss has created such grief that it's almost perpetual. A family no more than gets over one loss and we have another.
It has that numbing effect. You just take it as everyday living now. And it's just natural for us to go to a funeral.
You know, it's just like you lose half of yourself, your other half, when you lose your soulmate. You know, you're so lost.
It affects just more than the victim. It affects the person who may be the perpetrator, all the families on both sides. And so it's very devastating to our people.
We're interconnected so many ways that when we lose someone, it doesn't just affect that family, it affects our whole community.
My little granddaughter drew a green car. Her mother was killed in their green car, and she put everybody in it and said that they were all still there.
It took so much away from us. It took our self-pride and our self-esteem away from us.
We're not numb to the grief, but I think we're numb to the cause of the grief.
The alcoholism and impaired driving is probably the biggest killer on this reservation. It was ingrained in us from when we were very young. To have a good time was to get drunk. But here, among our people, it is catastrophic.
There's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of extreme poverty, and you know, there's this generation after generation after generation after generation that have been drinking, you know, using drugs.
You know, everyone wants to party, everyone wants to go out and have fun, but they don't realize the dangers of what happens. And it's so easy for our youth to get a hold of drugs and alcohol. It's really a big problem here. It's really a big problem. And it's something that we need to get down to the source, and we need to fix the problem.
And don't give your kids a set of keys, and that's if they're drinking.
You know, if somebody's drunk at your kitchen table and they can't walk, well, you know they can't drive, but yet you're letting that person get up, walk out to their vehicle and leave your home.
I think we can overcome the challenges of impaired driving by more prevention activities, starting in the school and throughout this community, by helping in our treatment centers to help people overcome their addictions.
Youth is everything. You know, our youth has to kind of step it up a little bit more. And I really feel that our community needs to focus on the youth a lot more. Our youth are the ones that are being left behind.
Somebody's got to say something. It's got to start somewhere. And people got to want to change. They got to want to do it personally.
It's just like a big circle. If you don't break the cycle of this abuse, then it'll keep going to the next generation, and it'll keep going like a whirlwind just around until somebody in that circle will stop and break that cycle.
The Blackfeet tribe is a big family. We all care about each other in one way or another. It feels good to know your identity, to know where you're from and who you belong to, and to know that we come from a proud tradition of people, a proud people.
What makes me proud of being a Blackfeet is the history that we have.
Yeah, I'm proud to be a Blackfeet.
To To me, this is God's country, you know, and our land is, man, we have the most beautiful land I've ever seen.
I'm very proud to know that I come from very strong people.
I'm proud of my culture, that it's still alive and thriving today, that we still identify ourselves as Blackfeet.
I've always been, even since I was young, just being proud that I'm Blackfeet. We come from good, strong people, and that we should just carry that on.